Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're looking at the case of Kevin Hicks, a 16-year-old schoolboy from Croydon, South London, who vanished on the evening of March 2nd, 1986 after telling his family he was going out to buy eggs at a nearby shop. He left his home at 8:30 p.m. and he was last seen by somebody who knew him around 10 p.m. in Shirley Road, walking in the general direction of his home. Now the person who was looking at his case, DCI John McQuaid, he put forward a theory that Kevin may have been groomed by somebody since he had recently acquired a very expensive set of speakers, but his family rejects this theory. Now, over the years, his family and police were hoping that new evidence or advancements in technology would shed some light on his fate, including offering a £20,000 reward. However, decades later, Kevin Hicks' disappearance remains one of UK's long-standing mysteries, and his parents passed away without ever finding out the fate of their son, though his sister Alexandra still regularly appeals for information about her brother's case. Now, I didn't want to dig into it too much, so this is all the information I'm going to go with. In any case, I was asked to do a reading on Kevin Hicks, and we're going to do that starting off with the Crow Tarot deck, which is already on the table. And for any further questions, moving on to the Vice Versa deck, which is this one. So as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the deck. As soon as I have a table full of cards, we're going to stop and take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we're starting off at the top left with the Two of Wands, travel plans, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, travel plans that end up having bad results for him, like maybe the things that he saw after he started traveling. I'm guessing this is right after he left the house. They didn't quite pan out the way he wanted them to, but then we have the Ace of Swords here, which is kind of like a new idea. So maybe he left the house, he had plans to go somewhere, couldn't go there for whatever reason. Maybe he forgot something and he was like, oh wait, I have a different idea. So this kind of sounds a bit more like he left the house maybe intending to buy something or go somewhere, and they ended up not having, for instance, his wallet or something on him, the thing that he wanted. And then he's like, wait, I can do something else because now we have a new idea. Then we have the Page of Wands in reverse and the Hanged Man. All right, Page of Wands can be very active, can do the wrong thing, a little bit impetuous. Hanged Man is upright, so we're taking a different approach, a different view. Maybe as a result of doing things slightly unorthodox as well, because the Page of Wands is in reverse. Usually the Page of Wands is, like I said, is a bit like head over heels, youthful energy, doing things that we probably shouldn't, like maybe climbing walls and things like that to get to a shortcut or something along those lines. I am looking at the blanket of shapes that the Page of Wands appears to be on top of, almost like the map of a town. Like maybe he was trying to find shortcuts and ways to different places in unusual manners, which is why he was looking at things with a slightly different perspective. Maybe looking for areas that he hadn't been to yet in order to get there faster, whatever there was. Then we have the Ten of Swords in reverse and the this is the Six of Swords, also in reverse. Okay, so we're suddenly very worried, and also we're going somewhere against our will. So maybe now we've encountered somebody who, maybe this King of Cups over here, which is next, who is a bad influence, and it's not like they're initially able to hide their bad influence. It's kind of like immediately as Kevin approaches them, or they approach Kevin, he's like, wait, this is bad news. And they take them somewhere where they don't want to go. And maybe they have a story to tell, because the King of Cups is fairly emotionally manipulative. It could be that he was telling him that there was something wrong with his family, for instance, or his friends, or somebody that he knows that he would care about. And he wanted them to be safe, and therefore this King of Cups is saying, hey, if you come with me, I can help you out, or I can help your mother, or whoever it is. Kind of like what we had a while ago with the child that went on the underground and ended up disappearing. Similar type of vibe here, like, oh my god, we're worried and we're letting somebody else guide us somewhere because they're lying to us. There's emotional manipulation right here. Page of Pentacles over here, there is a small surprise, maybe something that they have to pay for, or things that are being demanded of them, which do not seem like a big deal at the time. But we do see that the Hierophant is in reverse, so maybe this person is calling upon their authority or something, and it's in a very bad way. Perhaps this person was some type of a law enforcement person, or some other type of, like a, I don't know, a doctor or a medic, or somebody whom Kevin would think to be of some type of authority figure within the community, telling them these things and making them make small sacrifices maybe, which may have led to bigger things. All right, so we're in the middle of it, so let's see what we can get with the vice versa deck. Oh, here we go, the Sun. It's kind of on its side, but it's mostly leaning in reverse. I'm going to take it mostly in reverse. So there are some bad things happening to him. He's aware that there are some bad things happening. There's a lot of joy leaving. Perhaps he's being confronted with something very negative, something that also takes his childhood innocence away, because the Sun has that small boy on it. I always see that as a bit of childhood innocence, like the joy of youth and that sort of thing. And they may now be confronted with things that take that joy of youth, that wonder away. Oh, all right, that one's on the floor. Oh, two of them. All right, we have another Page of Pentacles. All right, now we're being asked to make payments that we do not want to make. And we're looking at the Six of Cups. And also, Six of Cups is normally like a childhood memory card, but it's also the other side of the Six of Cups. This is the vice versa deck, where each card has two sides. And we're looking at this person who is disapprovingly looking down on them from a safe location, their home. So maybe Kevin is being asked to do something and somebody sees it and they have the wrong idea and they kind of like disapprove of what's going on, and it might make him feel like things that have happened to him in the past that made him feel in a similar small state, like being made fun of, being told they're bad, that they're wrong. So they may be feeling all sorts of bad ways about what's happening here and what is being asked of them. So it sounds like somebody definitely did something very untoward toward Kevin. The law enforcement officer said that maybe there was some type of grooming involved, and that may not have been the case, but I do feel like somebody encountered Kevin who had similar ideas, even though they may not have gone through the grooming process. They may just have come across Kevin and had a quick way to draw in young boys for very bad things. That's kind of what I'm seeing here anyway. He very quickly loses his joy and his youthful energy due to things that he does not want to do. We have the Page of Cups upright. This is the Death card in reverse, and the other side as well. And we have the Three of Cups in reverse as well. Okay, so whatever connection that this King of Cups may have been able to make with him in the past over here is definitely no longer at work here. There is a loss of harmony between them and whoever they are with. Also, we are closing and opening a chapter that he does not want opened or closed. The Page of Cups has a negative surprise also. Looking at their face, they are not very happy with their surroundings either. I mean, they're in a very bright, colorful place, but they look very drawn, basically. like their energy has been sapped, and now we have another surprise, and oh my god, what am I supposed to do with this? And they're just gloomy and bogged down because of course his cloak over there is super wet now that he's standing in the water. Whenever you get wet clothes, they wear you down as well. So I'm guessing that is also what's happening here. So I don't know if they are now in a secluded area, but at the very least he's feeling like something has ended. And again, in the background we have this youthful figure, which can also be kind of representative of the sun, because the sun is also right above this figure. It's almost like the sun card has come back, but now it's in combination with the death card. So definitely ending a childhood innocence, and also death, of course, is on the other side. So end of a chapter. Whatever he had, like thoughts he had formed about how the world should be, I think those at this point have gone. He's looking at the world in a very different way, and also realizing that he cannot go back, can never go back to the way things were. A lot of disharmony here. Let's see what else we can get. Oop. All right, we have a Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so basically asking or new suggestions made, possibly by other people who are at a distance from him, because I'm looking at the pair in the background that's kind of like talking offhandedly, like they're casually asking him to do things that he does not want, asking him to perhaps sacrifice certain things that he does not want. People almost not really involved in the situation, just kind of passing through and making demands like that. Oh, another one on the floor. And this is the Emperor. Emperor is upright, but this is the Hermits in reverse and the backside as well. So we cannot hide. There's no time for us to think about anything with any more depth than whatever is happening in the immediate moment. This person is stepping up and pretending possibly to be a figure of authority, potentially also pretending that he is going to be some type of caregiver, like the Emperor is like the father figure, that type of thing. But I'm thinking that this is very similar to the King of Cups that we just saw that was in reverse, like just kind of like bowling over with basically just being in his face, telling me all sorts of things, and to trust him, and if you do what I say, everything's going to be fine. Like, he doesn't have much going on or much people to hang on to, Kevin, at this point. So this first person that comes in that pretends like they're going to care for him is much likely to get that attention from him and get Kevin to believe that maybe he will be doing the right thing by them, but also is in a situation where he just cannot take a moment to consider his actual surroundings and how this person is probably lying. Like, he does not have that mental state right now where he could come up with those thoughts on his own, because everything is in a rush, everything is in a hurry, everything's very confusing. There's a lot of things ending and happening that he does not want, a lot of disharmony, like I said, people coming in, coming and going. So this is a very hectic area where he does not have time to think, and then this person steps in and pretends that they're going to take care of him. All right, we have a lot of cards here. Temperance. All right, so they're asking him to basically just hold on and don't get too upset. Just make sure to balance yourself out, like try to stay calm and that sort of thing. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse, also not able to make a connection with the outside world, possibly told that they cannot send any messages to anybody, even though he might want to talk to people. It's not happening. Also, things are happening very quickly. Like I said, it's chaos with the lightning in the background as well, and the Pegasus, which is also kind of like a Knight of Swords energy. I believe another Knight of Swords has that type of energy in it, and it's kind of like reminding me of that. We have the Eight of Pentacles upright, so there is a lot of focus here on doing certain things, and then we have the Chariots. So I think that the people that he is with at this point are very well practiced in what it is that they do. So I'm thinking this may be some type of trafficking ring that he became a part of, that he became absorbed into. So they have a whole schedule of how to do things with people, how to get them to do this, how to get them to do that, how to move them from this place to that place. etc., etc. And we also see the movement here with the Chariot, so he may have been moved under the cover of night to a new location. And here we have, this is, I think, the King, no, the Queen of Wands. Okay, the Queen of Wands in reverse and backwards. So Queen of Wands does whatever she wants, and in this case in particular, she or he, whoever it may be, does not care about anybody who they have in front of them. They just want to do whatever it is that they want to do. So this person is very selfish, does whatever they want, does not consider anybody else's feelings as well. Another queen here, this is the Queen of Cups, yeah, in reverse, similar to the King of Cups earlier, also very manipulative, also not looking at them. I'm looking at the crane that is on the back of the throne right there. Cranes are normally longevity. So I'm feeling like since it's reversed and backwards, longevity is definitely not one of their concerns here, which is very alarming because, of course, they are in this situation, Kevin is, where things do not ever really pack out in his favor. And these two, whoever these two people are, the kingpins in this group, they don't care about any of the people that they see coming through in that way because they don't really consider them human, almost like that's the vibe I'm getting over here. Everything's so well organized and almost mechanical that they just don't stop to think about the people that they're hurting. And Kevin is now in that mix. We have the Knight of Swords. I just mentioned Knight of Swords over here, and now we have the actual Knight of Swords. This one does not have wings, but it has a very similar energy. Again, that flightiness, the hurry, charging into the storm. It's words and thoughts, so maybe they are putting all sorts of thoughts in his head about what's going on, and he, again, does not have time to think about that. He may be asked to answer all sorts of questions that he was not prepared to answer, do things that he was not prepared to do, so very chaotic. Oh, all right, we got another card that fell down. King of Swords. All right, so now we have somebody who is very cold mentally, very much about making clean-cut choices and decisions. I'm thinking that this person is now taking over since we did already have a sword over here. So they are now in control of what happens to Kevin. Oh, there one. All right, and what happens to Kevin is the moon, which is hiding things. Could be that I do see a cage over here. They may have been spirited away into a cage somewhere, kept somewhere, secret somewhere where other people would not be able to find them. And let's see what happens next. So he is currently being moved to another location, hidden away. Also at night. Okay, Chariots again, kind of in reverse, kind of on its side, whichever you like, but we're moving and it's not a good movement. And they have the Two of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so this may, I'm looking at the blindfold on the crow with the Two of Swords, like maybe they just don't want to know what happens next. Kind of like, it's up to you, whatever happens, it's all fine by me. And I'm thinking this is not Kevin, this is whoever is involved. It could be these two, because these two were kind of like knocked about by these cards. That it's their energy of not really wanting to make a decision, leaving it up to the King of Swords, who is probably going to be able to make that decision without caring too much about anything really, because he's very methodical, very logical. And whatever the decision is, it's fine by them. The Nine of Pentacles makes me wonder if there was a transaction that took place, like they kind of like sold them off, like that type of thing. And the resulting transaction made them happy with themselves because they now no longer had their problem on their hands and they had money. Again on the floor. All right, new initiative, and we're looking at a road. Yeah, this is definitely being moved, and being moved, I think, to a larger city, because the road leads to what looks to be like a metropolis type of area back there. So I think he was moved to a larger place, maybe even abroad, looking at the sky. There's also a lot of feathers in the sky there as well, so this does look like he was moved in a hurry to a larger location where he probably would not be identified. Queen of Wands, again, involved somebody who wants basically just whatever she wants. She's also taming a lot of people here, and they're in control of whomever is involved in this. So they were the ones responsible for moving him. Now, are we ever going to see Kevin again? Because it sounds like he was moved somewhere. It could be that he was alive at this point, but it could also be not. We don't know. Let's see what we get. Oh, two of them immediately fell out down here. 6 of Wands and the, what is this? The 4 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so no rest. And we have a almost celebration here. Could be that either the Queen is celebrated here or that Kevin is being greeted by a bunch of people who are very eager to meet them, but also he is not given any rest here either. Almost like he was shipped off to a group of people that were waiting for someone like Kevin, if you know what I mean. And maybe multiples, we don't know. But either way, they greet him in a way that may have made him feel like they really liked him or anything like that. But I don't think that is the case. Knight of Cups in reverse, they only care about their own emotions again. So we have that. So I'm guessing he got in this group, or got sent off to this group. Knight of Swords, again in reverse and on the same location as well. So more fast words, even more chaos, and having no chance to think about anything. So that's also a bit of a whirlwind right there. This one hopped onto the other deck. Queen of Cups is back. We had a Queen of Cups underneath here. So somebody who is very manipulative as well. Maybe well-intentioned. Maybe he encountered somebody in this new location that was like, okay, I think you suffered enough, or something along those lines. May have wanted to help out. Maybe wasn't able to, but wanted to make things as comfortable as possible or something. That can occasionally happen. I'm reminded of this guy who went to Mexico for spring break, a medical student. This was several years ago, and he ended up getting caught by this weird cult of cannibals. And there was one guy who was kind of like the caretaker of the area who was like trying to feed him and stuff like that, but he also didn't help anything. So that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting over here with this Queen of Cups. Like in the middle of all this chaos, there's suddenly a bright spark, but I doubt that it would help much, but we'll see. This is the 8 of Swords. Okay, yeah, they're definitely stuck in a loop of their own, this Queen of Cups. So I'm thinking this is very similar to that caretaker that I was talking about, who has a certain mindset about where she is or where he is, depending on who this queen is. And they just do not step out of line because they believe that that is how things should be. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles, unable to balance things out. So even though people might be trying to help or something, there's no way to balance things. There's a lot of loss here. And again, we're looking at the city in the background. So there's just not anything going on in the city that would help out in a positive sense. There's just no way for him to gain anything in this situation. He can't really make any choices either. Again, we have it twice. Okay, so we had to make this message twice. So there's no balance, nobody's looking at him, and nobody's granting him anything. I wonder why we're getting this card twice. Like there's just nothing for him to gain right here, and I'm wondering if this also means that he's losing everything while he's there. Like there's just losses that he cannot regain, like that type of thing. There's just no way to balance out anything, like abuse, but times 10. Like that's what I'm kind of seeing with this, because he's losing everything right here. And even though there might be people who are trying to help over here, they're not able to do so. So the help is basically useless, and he does not have any way to recover. But okay. 3 is a crowd. That is not a very good card to pull right now, because that usually means that somebody has to go. And the way that they're looking at the shield, it almost looks a bit like a headstone, and there's like a flower in the background. This does not bode well. I'm not getting a very good vibe with this card right now, with this whole lineup that we just had. This looks like they've wanted to get rid of him ultimately. And this is the King of Cups in reverse. We started off with one of those at the start, didn't we? And again, the Knight of Cups. Okay, so trees a crowd, and then we see somebody who is only really interested in their own emotions, their own process, and they're also ignoring anybody else's feelings, etc. So there is no love lost here whatsoever. But that doesn't tell me, like, I feel like this is the end of Kevin's story, basically, right here. That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't tell me if we're ever going to find out where Kevin is, or what happened to him exactly. If we're ever going to see anything about that. We have the Four of Cups, so just not really interested in any of the choices. I feel like this might be law enforcement who has had, of course, some avenues to explore, but none of them seem interesting to them, even though some of them might hold an interesting surprise there if they really went for a closer look. So maybe they should be doing that. One of the cards flipped, but because this is vice versa deck and I couldn't see which one it is, can't pull it out. Ooh, that one really jumped. All right, so even though they cannot find out anything, they do feel like they're being challenged here with the Seven of Wands. It could be, though, that they're not challenged by anybody in particular because a lot of people have moved on by now. But still, they feel the challenge to get some answers, so that's good. So that means they're still working on it diligently, even though we might not be able to see that. The only thing is they're not able to see any new avenues, so they need to actually refresh their way of doing things. And we have here the World in reverse, and we have a fly. Get out of here. All right, so this one is telling me that they actually need to go back out into the world and look at things anew. Try all the different corners, maybe try corners that they hadn't looked at yet, avenues that they haven't explored. So if they do that, then perhaps they will find some more information about Kevin's case. And can I get a final card on that? I can. It's the Two of Cups. All right, so maybe they need to make a connection with other people. Maybe they actually need to go and look at other people's theories, because Two of Cups is also kind of like signing up for other people's thought processes. So maybe if they go and look at like theories online, like there's probably a lot of people on Reddit talking about this case and other cases like it. Doesn't even have to be the same case. I mean, there are two different color snakes here. It could be that they're looking at information that people have gathered on a very similar case, and where they tried a certain tactic, and then they're like, wait, maybe we can do that for the Kevin Hicks case as well. That might actually lead them to a more interesting solution, or at least a better way of looking at the situation. I'm guessing that is what we're going to see for now for Kevin Hicks. I hope you found that interesting. I rushed through it because there was quite a bit of energy here, so hope you're able to follow that. In any case, make sure to leave a comment or a like. That really helps the channel along. If you want to subscribe, that's even better. For now, I thank you for watching. I'll see you next time, and bye-bye for now.